the time to know the circulation of blood in the heart. After knowing the basic structure of the heart, the blood vessels, the structure of the blood vessels, the connections that are connected to the heart, we have to know how blood is circulated through the heart. The blood comes from the upper and lower parts of the body through the superior and inferior vena cava to the right atrium, and from the right atrium to the right ventricle through the atrioventricular valve, the right atrioventricular valve, which is called tricuspid. From the right ventricle to the pulmonary to get oxygenated in the lungs through the pulmonary artery. And then the oxygenated blood comes back through the 4 pulmonary veins on the left side to the left atrium. From the left atrium to the left ventricle. From the left ventricle to the aorta to go to all parts of the body through the aortic valve. So let's repeat it again. The blood comes from the right side, superior and inferior vena cava to the right atrium, from the right atrium to the right ventricle, through the right atrioventricular valve, which is called tricuspid, from the right ventricle to the pulmonary artery, through the pulmonary, of course, this goes through the pulmonary valve, and then goes to the lungs to get oxygenated, comes back from the 4 pulmonary veins on the left side to the left atrium, from the left atrium to the left ventricle, and from the left ventricle to the aorta, through the aortic valve, which is a semilunar valve, to the body again. Now, the blood which reached the body is oxygenated, and blood which left the body is deoxygenated. The question is, which blood vessels connected to the heart carry oxygenated blood and which blood vessels carry deoxygenated blood? Can you answer this question? Okay, you can pause the video and take your time to answer this question, or let's make it more specific. Can you tell me if the superior and inferior vena cava carry oxygenated or deoxygenated blood? Okay, how about the 4 pulmonary veins from the left side? Can you give me an answer? How about the pulmonary artery? How about the aorta? After knowing the circulation, you have to know which artery and which vein carry oxygenated or deoxygenated blood. But let's review it in another way. The superior and inferior vena cava carry deoxygenated blood from the body. The pulmonary artery carry deoxygenated blood, so the right side carrying deoxygenated blood. And after going through the pulmonary artery, the blood goes to the lungs to get oxygenated. So the blood that comes through the 4 pulmonary veins is oxygenated. So the blood on the left side is oxygenated. The 4 pulmonary veins carry oxygenated blood, and the aorta carry oxygenated blood to all parts of the body. This is a way of knowing which blood vessels carry oxygenated or deoxygenated blood. But to make it easier, focus with me. All arteries carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary arteries. All arteries carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary arteries. And all veins carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary veins. So the exception is always the pulmonary, whether arteries or veins. Let's make sure of this sentence. All arteries carry oxygenated blood except pulmonary arteries. Let's take an example of that. Aorta. The aortic artery carry oxygenated blood. How about the pulmonary arteries? Pulmonary artery carry deoxygenated blood, so that's correct. How about the other part of the sentence? All veins carry deoxygenated blood except pulmonary veins. The pulmonary veins carry oxygenated blood, and this is the exception. So how about the other veins, such as superior and inferior vena cava?